We are all familiar with the toxicity that modern women bring into many work environments nowadays in their bid to intensify their Me Too movement. And it is backfiring because every CEO or boss instinctively puts their businesses and companies first. So they prefer to not hire women, and they go for men who are not only more capable, but also do the job without victimizing themselves whenever they face any complications. So because of this, many companies prefer to hire men over women because of their competence, and modern women are livid because of this, once again victimizing themselves and saying it's sexism.
This is the most humbled I've ever felt in my life. I'm literally holding resumes, a stack of them, so that I can go in person to places and say, are you guys hiring? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing because I'm literally applying for like minimum wage jobs, and some of them are being like, we're not hiring, and it's like, what? This is not what I expected. I graduated college with 2 degrees in communications and acting. I speak 3 languages. Oh, this sucks. Like, I just want to be a TikToker, if I'm being so for real with you. But I can't be delusional anymore. Like, I literally need to make money. And so, I'm just gonna keep trying. I'm over here crying. And then I heard the birds chirping. And then I thought, at least I'm crying in Brooklyn. God, I hope I'm doing better a year from now.
Since men decided to wake up and stop approaching these women, not to talk of spending on them or bankrolling them, most of these modern women have now gone broke without having any source of income. Most of them immediately resorted to becoming hookup babes. That's what they call the modern-day prostitution, right? Others ran to OnlyFans to sell pictures of their private parts for money just so they can get money because men have abandoned them. It's only the few with dignity that are actually looking for real jobs, like the lady in this clip, for example. But even at that, most of them won't be able to get those jobs anyway, because plainly put, they are very bad at it. No one wants to employ modern women anymore because of the problems they bring with them wherever they go. Not even women themselves want to employ women to illustrate how bad it is. For example, it's funny how the lady in that clip is totally jobless and broke, but she is still looking down on the jobs that she can't even get, bragging about qualities that do not really matter. While modern women are still complaining that they can't get jobs and no one wants to hire them, many companies have started taking it a level higher by firing the women that already work with them. If you look at this from outside the walls of these companies, you would think it is a harsh decision, but if you were the one given the task to keep a company afloat and not bankrupt, and this is a decision you have to make, then you will definitely make it. Many of the female workers in many closed-up companies were directly or indirectly responsible for their downfall. Because of the Me Too movement that started a couple years back, a couple companies succumbed to the pressure and started hiring more women for jobs that they naturally aren't good at just to satisfy the society. And sooner rather than later, the decision backfired.
The Me Too movement took down hundreds of powerful men. 2 years later, some say it is costing women opportunities and causing segregation in some workplaces. Larry Seward breaks it down.
The year Spacey, Weinstein, Moonves, and Lauer went down, and hashtag #MeToo rose in a tide that pushed 200 powerful men out jobs for sexually harassing women. UH business professor Dr. Leanne Atwater kept tabs and worried. Corporate America planned to cleanse cultures, listen to women violated, and take harassment complaints more serious. But
if you're lacking in integrity and you're kind of a sexist, then your answer to this is, okay, we'll just keep them out. And that'll solve the problem. We won't hire them, we won't include them, and then we don't have to worry about it.
So she ordered anonymous online surveys. 300 men, 300 women asked how Me Too changed their workplaces. Results published in Harvard Business Review say nearly a third of those men avoid one-on-one meetings with women, more than 20% reluctant to hire any woman for jobs that require travel or close interaction. Another 19% say they avoid hiring attractive women. On the review blog, one manager added, "Unfortunately, in my estimation, getting too close to women at work puts your career and reputation at risk."
These women who got the powerful men fired and got the jobs for themselves instead couldn't recreate the same level of success that these men did. And when they were criticized or told to improve, they immediately go into defensive mode. They mostly never take corrections, and they always believe the system is against them, which is pretty ironic considering the same system chased men out to hand them the jobs on a platter. Now they can't handle the jobs, and it causes a lot of problems. Another issue these women brought with them was the inside fighting and unnecessary competition within the office walls. At least, if you want to be competitive, it should be for yourself and the company as a whole. It should be about you thinking how you will overtake other companies out there that are your competitors, not your fellow workers. There was a company like this back then that started employing a lot of women to fit the societal narrative. Even though they didn't remove the men who were already there, they only hired women for almost 4 months and more, so women were now numerous in the company. But since most of them were new, a senior male colleague was appointed to each group to head them for the first few months of them working in the company. Any serious person would want to learn quickly and become well-versed for the job. Even if you hate men, at least the thing you would do is quickly learn so you can get out of being under a man, right? These ones were constantly trying to unseat these men and get them fired. They did everything possible to make the company a female-run business. Instead of looking for ways to make the company greater or more profitable, they were focused on unseating the men at the company, see where their priorities lie, and now you understand the difference between men and women, and the reasons why men are always preferred at workplaces. Luckily for the men at the company, they were extra careful. I think it was because most men in the other companies were fired for these women, but since they were left alone, they were treading carefully. So these women's plans did not work, and since they were not even focused on the actual job, but on defeating a non-existent foe, they didn't perform well. Soon, the board started firing them one by one, and that's the only thing that saved the company from going bankrupt like the others who have now closed up. Companies realize that not hiring more women alone won't solve all the problems, but they also need to fire some of the ones who are already present at the company because they are not very valuable. And that's what most of them are doing now. Some CEOs that made this decision tagged it as a necessary evil. They had to choose between their company and women, and they chose wisely. Most of the modern women working white-collar jobs right now have no clue about what they are doing. Most of them are only good at the makeup, cosmetics, and fragrance industries. And that's okay. It's when they try to involve themselves in every industry, even the ones they have no clue about, and that's where the problems start. Then they get again, and they start beefing the men who are there doing their jobs in peace. Many male workers naturally try to avoid them because of the threats they pose. They could ruin your life, reputation, and career faster than they can make a dollar profit for the company. Most of them were already brought up to hate men. Then when they get a job and see men occupying bigger positions way above their own pay grade, they go nuts. As a man, it would only be stupid to relate with them or present them with the opportunity to accuse you of something falsely. Many men know this already and thereby avoid these women. The bosses see this and know it's not a healthy working condition, a workplace where half of the workers do not want to talk to the other half, and the other half is also actively trying to get the first half down. That's an unconducive work environment, and the men can't be blamed. To be honest, they are just looking out for themselves, and that's smart. And obviously the men can't be fired for the women, because it's the men who are actually doing the most work and keeping the company running smoothly, so the women need to go. And that's the new trend happening out there right now. Most of these modern women are getting fired. I see most of them finally resorting back to OnlyFans, by the way. That's the only thing most of them are good at anyway, and since they will be jobless and broke, they will definitely do it. Good luck to them. What they do with their lives is not any of my business. I just hope none of the CEOs of any company out there is afraid to make the right decision for his company because of what people outside will say. If your company goes bankrupt today, they won't bat an eyelid in your direction, so please do not think about what they will say when it comes down to you making important decisions for your company. If you see a woman who is not doing her job properly or creating a toxic environment at your workplace, do not hesitate to fire her. If it's a man that's doing such a thing, which is almost rare, get the weakling removed as soon as possible. Thank you. That will be all for today on Latest Juice, guys. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. If you enjoyed watching this video, then surely you would love my other videos. Make sure to check them. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, as it gives me the perfect motivation to keep creating contents like this for you. And also click the notification bell so you can be the first to know when I drop a new video. See you again soon. Cheers.